Lord knows I'm grateful for the coffee. I'm glad I made it before we started this, though. It's really hot. It's really hot. Good morning or afternoon or...
Good morning. It is Thankful Thursday, and we are very thankful that you have decided to join us today.
What are we doing today?
Today, we've got Q&A day.
All right. So let's open with a story.
Okay.
Because everybody likes stories, right? Okay. So we're moving, and we currently are in Hollywood, Florida. We're going to be moving to Tampa, which is like 4 hours away. And it's a little bit chaotic right now, but it's like beautiful chaos, because something that we've really been learning is that, and if you take anything away from this is like completely aside from the questions that we're going to be answering, but I want you to take this away from this. And I'm going to say it at the beginning, so in case you stop watching or you get bored of us, heaven forbid, and you leave this video, you at least get this piece. There's so much beauty in learning how to be present and how to be a human being and not just a human doing. I've been a human doing for the last 5 years of my life, like rigidly, aggressively, chaotically, emotionally, stressfully. Is that a word? Stressfully. And I had never heard that saying before. We are human beings, not human doings. And I will never forget it. It changes everything when you realize your way of being is what matters more than the things that you do. This is also one of the reasons I think, in addition to what I understood, why we say it's not about the weight you lose, but who you become in the process, who you become. Your way of being, your behavior, behave, be, have. This is how you spell behave. You be, you will have.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn how to be, you will have. Be, do, have. Okay, so I want to ask you, because this is a question that's come up a lot for us lately in this leadership training that we've been going through is...
Okay, and then I want to add something too.
Okay. A question that's really come up a lot, and I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. Sari, I'm sitting downstairs, and Sarit's upstairs. I hear her wheeling out the chair out to this room. And I'm like, there's only one reason why she'd be wheeling that chair out. And she's like, Bebe? I'm like, yeah. In my head, I'm like, fuck. She's like, we're doing espresso. I was like, it's not on my calendar. You did not invite me to this thing. Guys, if I don't know what's happening tomorrow, because I'm not looking at my calendar for tomorrow, because tomorrow's not here yet. I don't give a shit. So I look at what's happening today. What am I doing right now? And let me be present in what I'm doing. And so she's like, there's espresso. I'm like, so I have a moment of like this. I have a mini freak out, which years ago would have turned into like a blowout.
You had a 3-minute freak out.
I had a 3-minute freak out. And it, even like 6 months to a year ago, it would have been like an hour freak out. I would have come to this video with a sour attitude. And so I asked myself, Aaron, what are the ways that you get to be right now in this new moment, new opportunity? And the reason I want to share this with you is because any of us have the choice to do that at any moment in our day. And so if you're ever feeling upset, if you're ever feeling frustrated, if you're ever feeling, scared, ask yourself in that moment, who do I get to be right now? And in this new moment that I have, that's never existed before and will never exist again after this moment, what ways do I get to be to maximize this new moment and this new opportunity? What is the meaning I'm putting on this right now? I put the meaning of Sarit didn't invite me to the espresso on the calendar, so I didn't know that it was happening, could mean to me that she doesn't give a shit, that she doesn't care, that she doesn't consider the things that I need to get done. Or I could attach a different meaning. I could say, Sarit's got a lot of stuff going on. She's changing the world. How can I expect her to remember to invite me to every single thing? I have a new moment right now and I'm going alive. I have a new opportunity to impact some people. I believe everything happens on purpose. And if I'm here right now, there's a reason for me to be here. There's a reason for me to be delivering this message to you right now. I don't know who needs to hear it, but somebody here needs to hear what I'm saying right now. And if none of that had happened, you wouldn't be hearing what I'm saying. It wouldn't be resonating with you. It wouldn't be impacting you because I would have been stubborn. So it's like, do you want me to do it by myself? I said no, because obviously there's a reason I need to be on this right now. And how do I need to be to expand the lessons I've learned in my life to impact you so that you can have those same lessons? So the ways I get to be right now are present, are at peace, are in alignment. I get to be inspiring. I get to be a leader. I get to be an example. So I don't know what you need to take from that. But I wanted to share that message. And I'm very proud of myself because it could have gone very differently. And several months ago, it would have.
Yeah. So to add more to that,
We're going to get to questions, promise.
to add more to that, what I want to share is the difference between do or be, because we can say be. Now, I feel like there is a misunderstanding for both in society. And I think it's almost like sustainable weight loss, like if we think about weight loss in terms of just surface level physicality, we think about the calories, we think about the macros. And if something has a lot of calories, then is it going to make us gain weight? Is it bad for us, right? Like that's the first thing that pops into our head when we only look at it in terms of surface level, right? And the B of it is, like focusing on nutrient density. Something can have a shit ton of calories. Like let's take, for example, like almond butter. It's high in fat. It's got a lot of calories. At the same time, is it nutrient dense and does it serve our body? It could be, right? So it's like, however, can you take it too far? Sure. So, I believe that just like with, transforming your body, like in terms of like, nutrition and working out, in this way of being, right? Like the fine line between doing and being. Like, I believe that it's really important to talk about it because you can't woo-woo your life to the next level. In terms of, if I'm like, okay, today I'm just going to be calm. Like,
with the expectation that like magic is going to happen.
Right. Like being without action is not going to take you very far. That's like, oh, okay, almond butter is nutrient dense. Therefore, like I can have it. Sure, you can have anything, but how do you choose to intend with it? Right. So, it's important to recognize that, there needs to be a beingness. It is about the beingness while you're doing. Like Jesus, for example. Let's talk about Jesus. Okay. What did he do? He served and healed people, right? For his entirety once he found his gift, right? However, it's who he was when he was doing it that made the magic happen. So all that to say is that, you can't, woo-woo yourself to the next level, and you can take it into whichever, like life area you want to consider, whether it's, weight loss, whether it is advancement in, your profession, whether it's advancement with your parenting. Like, you can be a calm parent all day. However, if you're not going out of your way to serve your kids, then, are your kids going to be really drawn to you? I don't know. Quote of the day: you can't Uber your life to the next level. Yes.
Somebody put it in the Sarit quote book.
So, I just wanted to touch on that because I believe that it is the who do you get to be while you do, where the magic happens. And, when we do a lot, we get pulled into the weeds, right? Like, what is needed rather than who do I get to be, right? And when we're just focusing on the being, like like Netflix and chill, like, okay, but are you doing anything to better yourself? Okay, so I just wanted to touch upon that because I believe that that is truly the magic. It's like eating like, I'm gonna go back to the like weight loss sphere for a second. When you're wanting to transform your body, it is about eating nutrient dense foods. However, nutrient dense foods that are consumed in amounts that are greater than what the body needs are still going to have consequences that can hold you back from where it is that you want to go. Okay, so it is really this, like, call it flow, happy dance, between the doing and the being, that I truly believe will take you to the next level. And the other things to consider is the fact that all of our actions, everything matters, and all of our actions have consequences. Okay, so like this hiccup caused two consequences. This hiccup that I had, my imperfection of not adding Aaron to the calendar. Forgot. Probably because we had to rework it around because we're committed to doing, at least one espresso a week when we're not doing, like, let's say a challenge 5 days per week, right? So, we pivoted around, and, sometimes when you pivot around, things break. So I had a breakdown, and that breakdown caused, for Erin to pivot throughout whatever she's doing. And also because of that, because we started prepping for this at, like, I think it was like 27 or something along those lines, we started this video a couple minutes late. So, the breakdown was also affecting you guys, and it was also affecting the team because coaches are on it live today. So, point being is that there is a consequence for everything that we do. So, whatever it is that you do today, just remember, like, who do you get to show up as, and what are going to be the consequences of you either doing this thing or not doing that thing. And again, you can implement that into areas of your life in terms of body transformation. However, something in me tells me that you guys, you got it on the, yeah, I get it. When I don't work out, I'm probably going to feel guilty about myself, which is going to make me be more inclined to say yes to the donut that everybody's having because it's almost Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day is like the second Christmas when it comes to candy consumption, I feel like.
Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Tomato.
I want to add something because, first of all, I want to know what you guys are taking away from this. I need some commitment in the comments. Like, what is valuable for you in this, specifically in the fact that both Sarit and I are here and not just Sarit? What is valuable about that to you? What have you heard that has resonated with you? What are you taking away that you feel you can begin to implement in your life that is going to be positive and beneficial and help move you forward, take you to the next level? Like, what is that for you? I want to see in the comments, because not all consequences first of all, positive and negative is simply what we make it. Something's good or bad because we made it that way.
Truth.
But in the way that we understand it,
I'm going to make a Twitter post, by the way. Thank you, Tammy.
in the way that we understand it, positive and negative, there are more than just negative consequences. Okay. Aaron was able to pivot in both you showing up for all of us. But why is that important? This isn't about me showing up. I'm asking what is important about both Sarit and I being on a video for you to watch versus just one of us. Be, have was powerful. Behave, behave. This is real talk, and things don't always go as planned, but if we pivot, it can still work out. Okay. I want to hear from more of you guys. I'm excited about these. Thank you for everybody who has shared. Both of us being here gives you different perspective. Super true. I think about things differently than Sarit. This is a perfect example because I'm about to point out to you that there are also positive consequences. You showing up and sharing the hiccup shows me that shit goes wrong, but it's all good. And we can choose to be negative or roll with it with a smile. I don't know who that is. It says Facebook user, but that's a great share. Shanda, the whole concept about being instead of doing, because when you think about it, there's a distinct difference between the two. I have to apply myself all day at work, but why? Well, you guys are awesome and you're sharing. That just went way up. But why not for myself? Okay, because we can collaborate with one another. I love the banter. It is kind of funny. Your dedication is setting a good example. Okay, being present in the moment. It's an example of resilience. We feed each other, play off of each other. Intention is good. Action is better. We can talk about that. So what I want to share is that the fact that whatever I've experienced in the last 5-6 weeks of the investment I've made in myself for improvement allowed me to limit my temper tantrum to 3 minutes rather than having a sour attitude being here the whole time. And the way that that benefits you is also a consequence. It's great. So I want to point that out. Not all consequences are what we would consider to be negative, because when you do eat well, when you do take care of yourself, when you do talk nice to yourself, when you do communicate well with your children, there are very positive consequences to those things. When you do wake up to the alarm when you don't feel like it, when you do get your workout in even though you're tired, those all have also positive consequences. It's just that the negative consequences are usually felt more immediately than the positive consequences. Usually the positive impact of action that you take is because of a compound effect, not because of an immediate result. You work out and eat clean all the time, you're not going to lose 20 pounds overnight. So you can't feel this positive result that you're looking for immediately. So sometimes it's harder to see, which is fine. It just means that let's pay more attention to the good things that we have as outcomes for the actions that we take. And I'll tell you something, when you be a certain way in the actions that you're taking, there's always something good about it. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. So doing is a verb. It's an action to do something, right? To be is a state that you choose.
Don't you think that being is a doing too?
I think there's a reason that they're different words. Like to be is like it's internal. To do, I feel, is external,
Yeah.
right? To
But they're
be,
both, but wouldn't you say that they're both the same? They're just one is internal, one's external.
they're not the. I have a hard. I see what you're saying, but I have a hard time with that because you can do without being aware of your being, but you can't be and not be aware of your doing. I think. Because if you're being and you know it, you're choosing it, you're being very intentional and present. So you know exactly what you're doing. For example, if we sit on the couch and watch TV and we're mindlessly eating, we're doing, but we don't even know what we're doing because we're not being.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? We're not intentionally being.
It's a
So
different level of consciousness. Yeah.
yes, that's a great way. So to be, like different ways of being
Mhm.
would be intentional, present, positive, loving, abundant, free, peaceful, generous,
Mhm.
kind, enthusiastic, like these descriptive words. And then anything that you do, whatever way you're being, is going to affect the doing. If I'm making this video, if I'm on this live stream, pissed off and frustrated and upset, my message is going to be very different. My energy is going to be very different. And the result that you get is going to be very different
Mhm.
than if the way that I'm being is generous, mindful, kind, warm spirited, forgiving.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it just feels better on the inside when you choose intentionally.
Yeah.
Want to get to some questions?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. You guys are awesome.
If you're loving this video, let me see you drop a heart in the chat.
Kelly just farted. All right. Well, we can answer this question real quick. How has Ellen DeGeneres not discovered you all yet? It's only a matter of time before you get on a morning talk show. I think that's a rhetorical question. Tank Davison, also known as Daisy the Tank Davison. All right. So it's a good question, and I wonder the same. Maybe we could take over Ellen's show. She stopped doing it. I'm just saying, there's opportunity. Okay. This question, how can I tell if a protein shake is good or not? How do I read the nutrition? How do I read the nutrition label?
Yeah. So
That's why I asked you to bring the protein from downstairs.
got it. So there are a couple of things to consider when it comes to, choosing which protein powder is the best for you. And in case you care to know, the protein powder that we use is X Endurance. I'm a chocolate person. There are two types of people in the world. There are chocolate people and there are vanilla people. Drop in the chat. Are you a chocolate or are you a vanilla?
I'm a Chanela.
Oh, and do not say both. Which one more?
Okay, Chanela. I used to get the chocolate vanilla swirl. Actually, you know what? When I would get ice cream, I would choose vanilla over chocolate. Because I can add cereal to the top of it.
You can add cereal to chocolate.
Okay,
too.
but
What
I
are you
think
talking
vanilla,
about?
I think vanilla ice cream goes better with like pie and all that. So I choose vanilla. It's more versatile.
I want to see. We got more chocolate people in here.
Michelle's a Chanela. We're gonna make a band. It's gonna be called the Chinella Queens.
The Chinchilla Queen.
Chinchilla. Chinchilla vanilla. Ice ice baby.
I think we got more chocolates in the house, you guys.
Man, the chocolate people too
Yeah.
are very clear. I see a lot of
I hear
exclamation
you.
marks
I
and a lot
hear
of
you
confidence
guys.
in the
I hear
chocolate.
you.
All right. well,
Renee is very much vanilla, all caps. That's how you know that it's the real deal. Okay, so yeah, let's get back to protein. So, when you look at anything, the first thing I recommend that you do is you check out the ingredients. When it comes to protein drinks, protein bars, protein stuff, the first and, as a matter of fact, only thing, if anything, that people look at is the front with the claim how many grams of protein. Like, let's take for example like the Cliff Builder bar.
sometimes I think people would look at the sugar. I would, at least when I was.
That is like when you like, from a nutritional education standpoint, I feel like a little more. Most people, I'm just talking like broader.
I think the first thing to look at's the flavor. Cinnamon
Yes.
swirl.
So flavor first, and
cinnamon
then
bun.
let's take for example like a pre-made protein drink or like a protein bar. What will make you choose? Let's say you're at the gas station and
Why don't
you're
we
like,
ask them? What do you look at?
yeah,
Like,
what is the first thing that you look at? So from just human behavior,
if I pick
and
up
this is
bag-
before you've joined any of our programs. Okay, like I remember me back in the day. Okay, how many grams of protein, and then the flavor.
I would look at the
actually.
flavor and then the grams of protein.
No, I would look at the grams of protein first, because that narrowed down which flavors I was going to choose. That's why. Who remembers the Metarex 100? That had the most amount of protein.
Bro,
Yeah.
I would look at the flavor first because I'm like, I want the best flavor for whichever one has the highest protein.
Okay. So flavor, protein, sugar. Flavor, then grams. Okay. So for me, I would look at the grams first.
Team flavor right here.
Okay. So either way, a lot of people make their decision based on how many grams of protein. Okay. We're gonna take it to the next level.
I would argue flavor.
No, I mean, once you've chosen the flavor. Okay. So let's say you've got a Cliff Builder bar that's mint chocolate chip, chocolate peanut butter,
Chocolate peanut butter all the way.
and dark chocolate brownie. Okay. It's got the same. So you picked your flavor. All of it has the same, number of grams of protein. Okay. Most people pay closer attention to what is on the front label. Now, in order to take yourself to the next level in terms of making decisions when it comes to nutrition, and I don't mean just for protein powder. This also goes for cereal. This goes for granola. This goes for yogurt. This goes for whatever. Let's take a look at the back label, not just the claims, because in the front it's gonna show you the flashy stuff.
I kind of want to disagree and play devil's advocate, because anybody who's listening to this show is semi-health conscious, at least at the minimum.
Okay, so we're getting to the back detail.
But I think they would look at of course you look at the front because things are not on the shelf facing backwards. But I believe that the consideration of whether or not I'm going to consider buying something, they will grab it, flip it around, and look at the back. But I think the first thing that they'll look at is what's in this square box right here.
Mm-hmm.
Not
And in
what's-
the square box, what do we look for first when it comes to a protein product? Grams of protein.
This is you. You look for grams of protein. I used to
Yeah.
look at the sugar strictly, and then I would look at protein.
Okay.
So that's why I'm debating you, because I'm
No, that's fine.
So
That's
if I'm
fine.
different, I imagine
Okay, I see some of you guys saying, what would you look at on the back labels first? What would you look at?
I would look at the calories actually as number one. I used to look at the calories, then I would
Me
look
too.
at the sugar, then I would look at the protein, No, calories, protein, then sugar.
Okay, I don't know. Tammy,
Calories,
what's up,
calories,
Tammy?
sugar
So,
and carbs.
so, let's talk about that. Okay, what is in the supplement facts? Okay, in that like box is secondary to what's on the ingredient list. So now, when it comes to protein powders, in particular,
Other ingredients.
you should make decisions based on, so for example, this is how I will like completely like omit even considering a protein powder if I saw that number one, it had sucralose. Number two, if I saw that it had anything that says anything along the lines like phenylalanine, okay? If I saw that it says any form of food coloring like yellow 52, I would completely omit it if I saw that it has any artificial flavorings. Okay. So those are the top things that I'm like, I play the elimination game. And you guys, the next time you go to a GNC or anything along those lines, just pick 5 proteins off the shelf that you feel drawn to the most.
If you really want to waste your time, I challenge you to look for a protein that doesn't have one of those mentioned things.
Yeah.
If you really want to be in GNC for 6 hours.
You will be appalled by how processed supplements are and how processed protein powders or just
Protein bars,
anything
protein
is.
cookies.
Yeah, most protein treats are basically like candy with enhanced protein. And most protein drinks and protein powders are highly processed. Okay.
Unless you're making our protein ice cream.
So this is why we use the X Endurance protein.
Also, you can, I saw Tammy said, can you list those here? Any kind of food coloring, any kind of food, like if it says any kind of color with a number next to it.
Yeah. Like
sucralose.
Violet 6, red 3,
yeah,
like all of
whatever.
these colors.
I'll tell you this too. If it's not chocolate or vanilla, it's very hard to make that clean. This is why X Endurance only has chocolate and vanilla in whey protein. Because because vanilla flavoring can come very naturally. Chocolate flavoring can come very naturally from cocoa powder or from vanilla. What is it? A leaf?
I think so.
Right? So you can get it from nature. If it's like cinnamon bun or
birthday cake,
you
don't find birthday cake on a tree in nature.
Or if it's like peanut butter, anything, whatever, it's
peanut butter, banana smash.
Most likely it has one or more of those things in it.
You know which protein I really loved? Like once I started lifting weights.
What?
Do you remember Synthesix?
Oh yeah, the chocolate was like
so they had two.
They had the chocolate peanut butter.
They had the banana swirl and they had the chocolate peanut butter. They were both
chocolate peanut. Was so good. I imagine now mixing those two would be really good.
I think
there's a reason why they taste so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I love about X Endurance, this is not designed to be a sales pitch. This is answering the question. What I love about this is that it does taste good and you don't have to mix it with a ton of water. You could literally mix it with like half of a shaker cup, like not even this much water, like this much water, and it tastes like malt, like malty kind of chocolate. And they use cocoa powder, they use stevia or monk fruit. If you look at any protein and the list of ingredients right here is like a mile long, you're already running into problems.
Yeah.
So you can count the number of ingredients here takes up less than 4 lines. That's good. If there's like 19 lines of ingredients, there's something crazy about it.
Yeah. And also when looking at the ingredients, if there's anything that sounds like it is like chemically made, like made in a lab. Like, for example, hydrofluoro magna,
hold
blah,
on,
blah, blah.
hold on, because like I look at this like, if you don't know, like, okay, potassium chloride could sound like it's made in a lab.
Okay. Does so most of the times, what you're going to see too is parentheses after those things, just so that you understand the purpose of it. Okay. And by looking at the ingredient list, you're going to be able to decipher for yourself how processed something is and the degree of processing, basically the standards that go into putting it. So, if you think about it, because most people are either uneducated or undereducated. And what we know about human behavior is that most people, when it comes to consuming anything, they seek pleasure, right? So, when it comes to marketing a protein, for example, most of these companies are going to go strictly for flavor. Like if you think about like one of the protein brands that I feel like I see most often on the market right now is the brand called Ghost.
I've never even heard of it.
Ghost?
Uh-uh.
Yes, you have. So, however, it is so artificially processed, it's insane. So this is why it's important to be educated so that you can make wise decisions, because what you see most often, what is most common, is not necessarily the greatest thing for you.
You know what else I love? I'm shamelessly plugging this right now. Any X Endurance product that you buy, I love this about them. Any product you buy is not just one product. If you were to go to the store, okay, so for example, some people will go, they're like GNC, they'll buy a thing of protein, they'll buy a thing of BCAAs, they'll buy a thing of vitamins, they'll buy whatever, right? In here,
You haven't seen this brand? They have the sickest flavors. They have the Swedish fish.
well, that's this Oreo.
They have the Oreo. It's an Oreo protein shake, you guys.
Okay, so I'm going to continue with this. If you were to go buy all those things from GNC, it would cost you like over $100. It's like 3 different products, right? So X Endurance has the protein. Where is it at? Right. It's like up here. This list of things. I'll read it to you. 27 grams of super grade protein. And they put 4 types of protein. So you're getting protein that gets into your muscles really fast to help with the recovery process. But there also is a protein that takes a longer time to digest. So it actually continues repairing your muscles for a longer period of time. Okay. So there's 2 different types of whey protein, and there's 2 different types of casein protein. Casein protein, people consider or refer to as the nighttime protein, because when you sleep, it helps repair your muscles. Well, they put it in here as well because you can get a really fast acting type of protein, but then also it lasts longer and continues recovering your muscles for an extended period of time. So first of all, that's 2 different products that you would buy at the store that would probably cost you about $70. Then there's 4,600 milligrams or 4.6 grams of BCAAs. So if you take BCAAs separately, that's going to be another like $30. Okay. So now we're up to like $100. Then there's also electrolytes, vitamin B6, B12, and vitamin D. Okay. You buy those. It's going to be another $20-$30. Now we're up to $130. And it also has lactate, which is your body's preferred fuel source or energy source. We just don't make it as fast as we use it. So by putting that in their product, it's an extra natural energy booster. It's not super long lived, but it is natural. There's no crash. It's not caffeinated. It's not stimulated, nothing like that. So you go to the store and you buy all these things, you're going to be paying $150, $160. You buy this from X Endurance and you pay, people were like, it's so expensive. It's like $75 or something like that for a month. Sure, it looks more expensive on the outside than other protein products, but I much prefer this because that means I don't have to go buy 4 or 5 different things that are of the best quality that I've ever experienced. And I'm getting it for literally 50% discount for better quality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you can think about that.
Yeah.
It's also, is this Informed Choice certified? Or
Yeah.
is-
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all of them are. So tested for banned substances as well.
Yeah.
By the way, if you don't have, like, we talk about this because we love it so much, and it really has made a huge impact on our physical bodies. And a lot of people in the community, if you're not taking it or you don't know about it, you can go to shopxnd.com and then / Sarit A, and then use her discount code Sarit15 at the checkout, and you'll get 15% off. If you're a member, you can just log in how you normally would log in. Callie's pretty excited about it, so that's good.
She likes that protein. She had it before.
She licked some off the floor.
Thank
Okay.
you, guys.
All right, so we'll go to the next question. This is basically a supplement conversation because
You guys, come here.
I read these first.
Come here. Come here.
All right. So actually, I'm curious to know, like, who uses any kind of X Endurance protein. There's also for those that are more vegetarian or vegan or plant-based, there is a plant-based protein that I actually prefer. I use it way more often than the chocolate or vanilla. It's made from pea and chickpea protein, and it also has some greens in it. So I use that. But anyways, next question. I use the X Endurance creamer. I swear, you guys, these are the 2 questions that we have. I use the X Endurance creamer and adaptogens, which I just made on a live Facebook video with you all just not too long ago. But I don't use it in my coffee. I use it in my Greek yogurt, parfaits, cottage cheese. That's interesting. And shakes. What are adaptogens and why are they good for me? Thank you for all you do. Can I read this? I just want to read. Oh, goodness. This is, what am I? 55? Okie dokie. Coconut powder and what is this? Go MCT oil.
It's a type
Okay.
of MCT.
Okay. Contains critical minerals for diverse health benefits with medium chain triglycerides. Sarit will explain that to you. And acacia fiber. Is that how you pronounce that? I think so. To optimize gut-brain axis. Adaptogens. Plants designed to increase your body's ability to deal with stress. KSM 66 ashwagandha, full spectrum extract, clinically proven to help reduce stress, anxiety, and control cortisol levels. You just talked about cortisol on the Raw call yesterday and sleep.
Sure did.
And reishi is a medicinal adaptogen which provides calming and stress reducing qualities. There you go.
So to break this down in simple terms, basically what it is a micronutrient that, adaptogens are like types of micronutrients. Like, for example, minerals are a type of micronutrients, right? Vitamins are a type of micronutrients, right? Like adaptogens are a type of micronutrient, and the benefit of adaptogens in particular, has to do a lot with your nervous system and your brain health. Okay. And then with regards to MCT oil, that's just a high performing fat. Okay.
But it's
what do I mean by high performing fat? What I mean by that is
and it's only 2.5 grams per full scoop, and I put like a half a scoop in this size of a cup.
Yeah, so it is a fat that helps to increase your brain function. Okay, so this creamer is a creamer with health benefits that helps you to increase your brain function. It also tastes really, really good. I'll tell you
Truth.
that for anybody who travels,
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know about you guys, but coffee is something that's very near and dear to us. And, when you travel and you go to hotels, very rarely do you see like, the Nespresso pods or anything like that. So the coffee is pretty basic. And what we do to, make any even this is how I use the adaptogens for the most part. What we do to, turn any mediocre coffee to a really good coffee is we just bring this with us when we travel, and we just use the coffee in the hotel room. Erin likes to put it in her coffee when we're home base. I froth my like almond milk because I like.
What if you put a scoop of it in your almond milk and frothed it?
That's a good idea. I never thought about it. I'll have to see how it mixes. So
It actually does mix really good. I want to show you. Like, it's not clumpy lumpy. Look at it's pretty good.
do you guys see my froth? Show them my froth.
Yeah, right there.
So this is my frothy stuff. I have the Nespresso frother. So yeah,
Most things like this that I've tried before, they get really chunky.
yeah.
And like you take a drink and you like have this chunk that turns into powder in your mouth, and you're like,
hmm Yeah. So with that, know that there's like, okay, you put it in your yogurt and all these things. That's totally fine. It's like, let's say green powder, for example. You can put green powder on your Greek yogurt. You can put it, in your drink. It's just you're boosting the nutrient density of whatever thing that you're consuming, and because of the MCT oil, it is a creamer. However, you can use it for other things as well. So
and because of the oil, it has 2.5 grams of fat in a serving, which
yes.
is actually almost nothing.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of creamers with none of the sugar, none of the shit.
Yeah.
It's really good. So I usually do a half a scoop of that plus 1 stevia. Like when we're home, like my go-to coffee is a half a scoop of this, 1 stevia, and a little bit of super creamer.
Done.
Concoction. Really good. Simple. Tastes delicious.
Boogies and knock.
So
Okay, you guys, we have a very special live event that's coming. It's a live virtual event. Okay. I feel like the saying the virtual is necessary, but I feel like it's so much easier for me to say live event. So it's a live virtual event. We're doing it as a special.
meaning it's not pre-recorded. It's alive.
Yes, we are present there with you, and we're doing a special for Valentine's Day. We feel called to do this
Because we love each other.
because we love each other, we love ourselves, and we love you, and we want to help you to bring in more love in your life, because we truly believe that love is the spice of life, and that's what makes the world go around. So would love for you to join this event, and my encouragement to you is invite one person that you love to join this event with you, so that you guys can speak the same love language and enhance the way that you speak the same love language. To RSVP to this live event, you're going to need to text in love to the number 910. I'm like,
That's the part that I know.
it took me 3 years, you guys, to learn Erin's phone number. So to learn our phone number will take me about 3 years as well. Okay.
910-593. I'm put it in the chat also. 4899.
Yeah, join it. Okay. It's going to happen next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to add a lot of value and information with the intention of just adding more love to your life, so that you can add more bliss in your life, truly. Okay. So join it. Would love to see you there. And Do you have any other last words? Today we talked about your state of being. We
And
answered some
supplements.
questions about why are we not yet on Ellen's show. If you know any of the producers and you think that we would be a good fit, then please reach out to
If
them.
anybody has any ins in the TV network business, I feel like
Disclaimer, I would totally move to LA for a gig like that. Just saying.
I think that we would capture the world. I also would love to have the excuse to just do funny, stupid shit on national television.
Yeah.
Like somebody float me down from the sky as my entrance. And people would just watch because it's unpredictable and they have no idea what's going to happen. And then we'd have really cool people on there too.
Yeah. You guys? Live guests too.
That will be awesome.
Okay. And then we talked about supplements and then we wrapped it up with how much we love you and join the live virtual love event that we're hosting for you next week by
Okay, so-
texting love to 910-593-4899.
All right. So if anybody does know somebody in the network industry that wants to give us our own show, I would like to request that you clip out the next 60 seconds as my pitch. Hey, we're Aaron and Sarit, and let me tell you something. On our TV show, everybody's going to want to watch, everybody's going to show up, and they're going to stay connected and tuned in. Why? Because they're never going to know what's happening on our show. I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to do because I don't know yet. And the one thing that they're going to get from it is real, authentic, and crazy, but also insightful and impactful for their personal growth and development. And everybody's going to be happy and love one another. And they're going to want to come back forever and ever and ever. And they're always going to watch that TV show. And you're going to make a lot of money from it. So we'd like to meet with you.
Consider it a positive media consumption, just like Ellen's, with a different twist.
I think it's a winner. All right, you guys, have an amazing day. We really love you, really care about you. And all we pray is that you love you and you care about you.
And that you make today your best day yet, because all you got is today. Much love.
See ya.
Bye.